Hello and welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I am your host, Fearless Floyd. Today we're going to talk about the Global Family Bank and the recent publication by you know who, Anna von Reitz. So, you know, I don't want to talk out of turn or out of line or out of context. So we're going to read what she posted word for word. Now, I know none of you out there really believe Fearless Floyd when he tells you the truth. It's amazing how dumb and stupid, idiotic, moronic people really are that just don't want to listen because this is a holy Bible. It really is. It really has words and text in here with the Bible and stuff. See. So I'm going to swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God on the Holy Bible. Now, if you can get your big fat con woman cult leader called Anna von Reitz to do that, all right. And before I go on, anybody and everybody, I don't care who you are, if you'd like to come on my show and have a conversation, okay, possibly a debate, but definitely a conversation. We're definitely not going to argue, okay? We're going to agree to disagree. But if you want to come defend your positions over there with Anna's Bank and all your assemblies that you think are going to stand up and take over this existing government or governments, I'd love to debate you, okay? We can go on and on and on and on. And come on, you have an open invitation. Anna von Reitz, Hunter Key, open invitation. Come on my show. Yeah, let's talk about some real truth. And let's find facts, conclude law, and then make our determination, right? Isn't that how it's supposed to work? But usually it doesn't. So, it really saddens me that so many of you just took the advice of your friends or your associates in your assembly and forwarded your 401k, your IRA, your retirement, your savings, your nest egg, and deposited it into the Global Family Bank, thinking that you were going to get some huge, massive return on your investment. Well, y'all been diddly squatting around for about 3 years now, and I've been just pounding the pavement, just beating the dead horse over and over again, and you folks still are not listening. You're definitely not paying attention because I've done well over 24 videos on Anna and her bank and her assemblies that go nowhere. By the time they think that they're going to be autonomous and stand up and do their thing, here comes an Anna von Reitz chaos bomb. She has to destroy it. She cannot let it grow like a butterfly from a caterpillar and take off and be on its own. And it really, I'm going to make this point to you, okay? If I want to prevent you from doing the right thing, what's one of the first things I'm going to do? I'm going to put up roadblocks, right? To try to prevent you without you really even noticing that I put up a roadblock. So what's one of the first things that Anna's whole program tells you to do? Rescind your voter rights, right? Your registration. You don't want to be a registered voter because you want out of the system. Well, sadly, the system's not the system that you grew up with. Now it's metastasized into a system of other cultures from other countries because you've been over here playing around and decided I didn't want to participate in the two-party system. And I believe me, I 100% agree with you, okay? They're both just the same animal, just one's a little more corrupt than the other, and one leans this way, the other leans this way, and they're both just want to destroy America and everybody in it, whether you realize that or not. So I keep telling everybody we have to change within, just like they've done to us. They came over here as illegal immigrants. immigrants, as legal immigrants, and they've assimilated into our society in so much as they have a program, they have a plan. Their plan is to go run for office and take over communities, one elected office after another, until they have the whole community wrapped up, and it's their community with their culture. And then they have what's called white flight, right? Or gentrification. They give it all these nice, neat little names, right? So when everybody leaves an area because something moves in and takes it over and other people don't like it. That's happened over and over and over in America. It's happening right here in our own backyard. It's happening in your backyard. You're allowing it to happen because, now listen, are there some good people that have been in Anna's assembly and all these other assemblies and jural assemblies and that are trying to make change, but not through the system? Yes, there's some really smart, good people in there. The problem is most of them have integrity. Okay? Which means they have morals, ethics, and standards. And once they get to that level where they see that, oh, this ain't going anywhere. I've just wasted 3 years of my life to watch some woman blow it all up. And when I started asking questions, they excommunicated me, shamed me, talked about me, embarrassed me, right? Wouldn't let me speak. That's how the cults operate. So, it's unbelievable. But there are some good people, and most of you get washed out. What I mean by that is you went through your jural assembly or your assembly and you spent some time and invested in, maybe even got in some kind of elected position, or you're a recording secretary or whatever, and boom, you start watching your friends lose their house doing some kind of program they had in the system. Really, really affecting their lives and making you feel shame and guilt that, hey, I brought them into this and, they did this and they just lost their house, man. Now they're homeless. The whole family's living in a car. What up? Because I've spoken to people who do, that this is all true fact. Okay. I just swore on the Bible. So don't think I'm making shit up as I go along, because I'm speaking my own experiences, my own conversations with people that I've had, just countless conversations. I don't know how many hours invested talking to people from all over the world, South Africa, England, Ireland, absolutely, about these assemblies and Anna von Reitz and the bank and all that. Oh, absolutely. Remember, took an oath. So it's a shame that most of you get washed out, because they were already washed out of the two-party political system. They didn't want to deal with that anymore. That's why they got into the assemblies, because they found some like-minded people that, hey, right, we see the fraud, we see the corruption, we know what's going on, we need to get these people out of office, so let's go set up our own independent government and try and take it over. That's called a revolution. More likely than not, a civil war. Okay? Because they're not going to let you do that. Because you have to remember, they have an army. It's called the National Guard, which the governor controls, right? Absolutely. They have a state police force here in Texas. It's called the Texas Department of Public Safety. Then they have those really badasses called Texas Rangers. Everybody's heard of those. They're internationally known. And then we have our county sheriffs. We have a whole bunch of those. Then we have constables. Then we have the police guys. And it just goes on and on and on. They also have jails, prisons, courts, prosecutors, unlimited amount of money. That's what you're going up against. And you think you're going to have a revolution take it over. No. Because you see, New York is a perfect example. just go check out Mandami with the whole socialism issue, and we'll see how that works out. Then we can just like venture on the other coast to California with Gavin Newsom, and you see all of the big corporations and the billionaires and the smart people. It's like, get the hell out of here. This place is nuts. Beautiful, but nuts. And way too expensive. So, really, the only ones that they want over in these two jurisdictions are the richest of the rich. Allegedly, I'll let you make that up, Now, all you good people that are in these assemblies, okay, you're doing the right thing, but you need to flip the switch, flip the script. What you need to do is get back involved in politics, because there's plenty of third parties out there, and there will be coming up. Tucker Carlson wants to start his own conservative party. You have Jim Gale running for president under his own party that they created. A group of like-minded people created their own political party. And if you know anything about Jim and his structure, Galt's Landing, out in the northeast section of Florida, operating with permaculture, self-sustainability, off-grid technology. And Corey Inderlat has the Bigfoot Forest over near Tampa. So those two are in Florida. Boom, like-minded people. They created a group. They created their own political party. I think it's called the anti-establishment party or something like that. It's humorous, but it gets your attention, and it makes you listen to, hey, what's this guy got to say at this crazy party name? So you're going to have an opportunity to get involved and change your community with like-minded people who really understand that, it's unfathomable unless all the citizens rise up against the government. Otherwise, it's just a group of people that you've already been labeled. If you're an American state national, trust me, you're in a database as a sovereign citizen. No doubt. Listen to me when I tell you that, okay? It amazes me. When the people still continue to this day on their social media, fly the civil peace flag, which was created, okay? It was created from an ensign flag that was used on a revenue cutter, which means a ship, a boat, a vessel that went around the port and collected money for the United States government. That's where that flag came from. The original had in the blue banner, it had a blue background with a white eagle on it, spread out wings. And somebody said, oh, okay, we'll just take the eagle out and we'll just put some stars in there. Call it a civil peace flag. And I still am amazed that, hey, you have your own state assembly. How come you don't have your own state flag? This is what I'm discussing when I talk about this idiocy. It's just amazing how dumb and stupid these people are, how they'll follow anything and listen to anything instead of being a true, real leader and leading. They're listening and following, all of them. Because when they do finally go, oh, hey, this doesn't sound right. Let me ask this question. And you ask the wrong question in the wrong place at the wrong time, because now you're out of there. And that's what happens to a lot of them. And then there's people like me who I was not disgruntled with the assembly. I thought the assembly was a great thing because I had no idea who Anna von Reitz was. I'd never even heard of these assembly things. All I had heard of was American State Nationals, and I didn't know that much about them until I met one face to face. That's how I got into Texas State Assembly. Now, was I disgruntled with the other people in it? You know, there were some really good people in there. You know, I'm friends with Dr. Brian LeCompte. He was one of the first ones who ever papered up in the Texas State Assembly. He was a real MD doctor or alternative doctor, emergency room doctor, actually. So yes, I met some good people, really good people. There are still some good people, and there have been some good people washed out. And those people need to band back together and re-register to vote and get back in the system and change their community back the way they want it, or go find a community that they can easily change to their way of life. This is where we're at, folks. Okay, this is a takeover, an internal takeover of the United States government. Okay, otherwise, if you're in Houston, Texas, or any Texas city, okay, any Texas city you can go to, and you see all these Hispanic markets, grocery stores popping up. I know this used to be a white neighborhood or a black neighborhood, and who's here? Where do all these Mexicans come from? No, they're not Mexicans. They're illegal immigrants. And they're not rounding them up by the thousands. All they got to do is just go park outside some of these discount grocery stores and shit. That's all you see, legal immigrants. They don't speak English. They're all speaking Spanish. Thousands of them, hundreds of them. I'm not saying they're here like, doing anything illegal, stealing or anything like that. But no, they came here illegally and they're still here, and there's no big hurry to round them up and deport them. And they're dropping babies like you just don't. I mean, I'm telling you, that's all they do is drop babies. Like 3, 4, 5 babies. They can't stop at one. It's 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah. And they're going to change the culture and the dynamics. And I'll explain to you what that looks like for you. The high school I graduated from, Scarborough High School, in 1980 was pretty much an all-white middle-class school. Some blacks bust in from the all-black school so they could start and play in our varsity sports. We had a handful that lived in the community, and then we had our traditional Hispanics that, they've been here for, generations. We used to be one of the top football programs in the state of Texas. We were a 5A school. We played against the best of the best in the city of Houston. Scarborough High School went on a losing streak. In fact, it was the longest losing streak in American high school football history. Why? Because they didn't have any white people playing. They didn't have any black people playing. They were all Hispanics. They were all illegal immigrants or kids from illegal immigrants. Because the demographics now is 60% Hispanic, 30% black, 10% other, not white, not Asian, other. Yeah, that's what happened to the school. That's what illegal immigration looks like over decades, how it takes over a community, how it changes everything. NFL Hall of Famer from the San Francisco 49ers, Jerry Rice, actually came to the high school to speak to the team to try to get them out of their losing streak rut. And of course he didn't, but a couple games later, they did finally win one and break the streak. So this is what it looks like. So it really saddens me when, I see posts like this. I'm going to read you. And I've spoken to some of you personally who've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Seriously. Y'all dropped it in the bank and y'all have not seen it since. Y'all have not had access to it. You've not been able to use any type of utilitarian methodology to recoup or use your deposited funds. It's been a big charade. It's just been one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. And I've told you folks from the very get-go, it's a fake-ass bank. So, for those of you who don't know and have hung around this far into the video, I Floyd Pleasant Tarvin IV personally went to this address right here, 2525 North Loop West, Suite 125, Houston, Texas, 77008, where it says the Global Family Group Enterprises, LLC, United States of America. Here's where I got that from, right here. Okay, this is a screenshot telling you what the Federal Reserve note equivalents, conversion to silver, right? That's where I got it. So there's your address. Who's that address belong to? It belongs to Arturo Coronel, president of Coronel Financial Services, LLC, Accounting and Tax Services at 2525 North Loop West, Suite 125, Houston, Texas, 77008. Because I personally procured that particular card when I was in the office. Yeah, that one. So while I had somebody sitting out in the hallway, I had a wireless microphone under my shirt and went in and had an 18-minute conversation with Mr. Coronel. And I played dumb because I knew the story, but I wanted to hear his side of the story. And if you haven't watched that video, I'll put a link in the description below. I haven't, it's not there now, but I'll put it in there after I do this video, just so you can go back and watch it, so you can share this video with whomever you want. If this wasn't such, if this was an isolated issue, like one jurisdiction, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But this is a worldwide issue where people from all over the world are investing their money in this bank, thinking they're going to get some return on their investment. Well, you just got robbed. Your money is in a bank in Switzerland. Okay? First of all, if you're a bank, why would you need to establish anything outside the jurisdiction of the United States of America? Right? That's a red flag. Sorry you didn't see it. But I just showed it to you. Okay? So your funds bounced. Now, after my conversation and my show that I did with all of the people who were victims of this bank fraud scam, I called the Secret Service here in Houston, Texas, and did my duty. Okay? Because I don't want to see anybody homeless. I don't want to see anybody lose their life savings that they worked 20, 30, 40, 50 years for, so they can enjoy the remainder of their life, only to be homeless and penniless and broke and frustrated and angry and pissed off and depressed and all the host of other things that happens to these folks. Because Anna doesn't care whether you lose your house, your life savings, whether you're out on the street, whether you can't find food, whether you're standing on a corner with a get rich scheme sign and I will, I need $1 or I need 25 cents because I need to eat. I'm hungry. I don't have any more money because I gave it away. And that's a very sad thing, especially when you start talking to these folks and you really hear the story, and it's just, a horrific story. That's all because of one little woman who doesn't give a crap about any of you. All she cares about is existing and having a better life. That's it. She doesn't care about you. She doesn't care whether or not this whole thing's going to flip. Did we have any kind of presidential ceremony when James C. Belcher died? Nope. Where's all the pomp and circumstance of a royal or a internationally known or, yeah, follow me? See the red flags just pop up one after another. I could sit here and tell you the story of Anna and why she no longer lives in Alaska. But You go do your own research because I know the story. And it's, again, horrific. I told you all that she had a lawsuit against her and James from the Department of Justice for not filing taxes over 1 million. I think it was 1.12 million default judgment against her. And everything that she gets is being confiscated, being garnished by the United States government. So if she had access over your account, that would be taken immediately. But she doesn't. Because the DOJ would be looking for it. So somebody else has your money. Well, who's left? I don't know. We could look up the CFO. That would be the chief financial officer that was listed on the family group website. That would be this guy. Well, that's not coming up. Well, I'm having internet issues. No surprise there. So bear with me. I'm going to reload again. Straight trash. Well, I'm trying. Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm having Wi-Fi issues, and I do apologize for that. But it is what it is. When surrounded by morons, you're going to get a moronic. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to download and edit this video just because of that. But no big surprise there. That's why I don't do so many videos because anyway, let's get back to the basis of this video. Come on, open up. All right, let me get back to where I was. All right. Okay. Here we go. And this is there we go. Obviously. So this says international public notice effective immediately by Anna von Reitz. Hang on, let me go get my happy ass out the way. There we go. All right, international public notice effective immediately by Anna von Reitz. Hunter Aki has been removed as director of the Global Family Bank chartered by our unincorporated Federation of States doing business as the United States of America. So there you go. I want y'all to go find that DBA somewhere. Y'all just go find this. Go find me that DBA and send it to me. You can email it to the Fearless Floyd Show at yahoo.com or hit me up over in Telegram, same address, the Fearless Floyd Show. So she tells everybody, don't panic. Your information is secured. Your accounts are secured. Judge Adrian Fonse and his rumored girlfriend Joey Grayling from South Africa are reportedly hiding in Panama, which has no extradition treaty with the United States. Judge Fonse, if indeed the court he serves has any validity, was granted permission in 2019 to assist in the recoupment of funds owed to the Devala Family Trust as an M1 trustee, but given no assignment rights. We have been told that tens of thousands of dollars were given to Judge Fonse to travel to France on unstated business by Hunter Aki. No explanation of this has been forthcoming, and it is unclear where these funds came from, if this had something to do with Judge Fonse's recoupment efforts or what. It isn't even clear if this came from our bank, a British maritime bank, Hunter himself, or some other source. We have been notified by a foreign government witness that Hunter was being coerced and blackmailed by British Crown agents to undermine our American banks. Until further notice, Hunter has no position with and no access to the Global Family Bank that we chartered under American public law, the Global Family Commercial Bank that we chartered under American public law, the Global Family Bank of Commerce that we chartered under American maritime law, and the Global Prosperity System, which we created under private copyright in 2015, which all are operated under American law and American auspices by the American government. Okay, if y'all didn't see that, just in that little statement right there, um, which United States of America is she talking about? Which American law is she talking about? Maritime law. I thought that's what everybody was trying to get away from. Admiralty and maritime law. I don't know. I'm confused, but I'm supposed to be confused because that's what Anna does. Keeps you in a state of confusion, so you never quite really understand what's going on. And you definitely cannot get answers because once you start asking those questions, what happens to you? Yes, you're excommunicated. Continuing. We chartered and formed these banks deliberately outside the Anglo-Maritime banking monopoly run by the British Crown Corporation for reasons detailed in earlier notices. It follows that we never authorized or created or allowed any Roman municipal corporation franchise spinoffs either. We made the reasons for this as clear as possible to Hunter. We have been advised that Hunter Aki, whether by mistake or confusion or deceit, has been creating British Crown Corporation franchises under similar names, and this has caused the British authorities to investigate accusations of abuse and misuse of money held in one of those accounts. It's also potentially more of the mirroring activity that is too familiar and therefore of concern to us. We tried to question Hunter about these allegations to no avail. So there you go. And hey, the accountant knows where the money is because he's the one keeping track of the money, right? I mean, there you go, folks. I just can't make this up. So be sure and call Arturo Coronel, Global Family Bank Chief Financial Officer. You withdraw your funds from Global Family Bank because it's not a scam, right? It's not a scam. It's a real live bank that you can transact with, and you can use those funds to purchase anything everywhere. If you see up here, if you want to barter, I'm still doing the 1 ounce of silver for one of LeFlore's out of print books. Can't get them anymore. They're out of print. They'll no longer be printed on trust and specialty trust. So if you want to pick one of those up, I still have a few left, and I'll be more than happy to barter with you. You should hit it now because silver's down 50% from its all-time high, which was just a handful of months ago. You never know. Might want to take advantage of this bargain while it's still available and get a book that you can no longer get. You can't even get an ebook. That book is just, those 2 books are done. That's it. They served a purpose. We had fun with them, educated a lot of people, and we are evolving. So a lot of good things and new things are happening. Anne's created her own website. We're updating the Fearless Floyd show. Apparently it's got, attacked or something. I have no idea. I don't have time to keep up with stuff anymore. I'm working on my age discrimination complaint, and those are my exhibits. And that's a 4-inch binder. And I'm not done. That's the actual first part, section 1. I think there's 8 sections. I plan to win. So that's what I've been working on. Been very busy doing that, getting it all together. So got more FIFA stuff coming up, so I will be out of pocket again for a hot minute. Don't know when I'll be doing another video. I'll definitely be doing one Sunday. If you're not familiar, every Sunday, we're going to do a segment. That's another scammer out there that's just taking people's money. And then once he takes your money, then he sues you to shut you up. Yeah. Imagine paying somebody to help you and sending them all your personal information, your social security number, driver's license, birth certificate, address, phone number, email, and then turn around and get sued when you're just trying to come up. So we're going to talk to his original admin, very first one, before the admin was even a word. Yeah. And we're going to work our way forward. We're going to come through some more whistleblowers. They're going to tell you exactly what's going on and some of the stuff that they've uncovered. Like, why would your guru be supporting a convicted multi-count pedophile? That's kind of crazy, right? Allegedly. We throw that in there. All kind of questionable things. So, evil is as evil does, because, anybody who just, that's their life's work, is just to steal people from money or steal money from people. That's evil. That's just downright evil. That's an evil person. They have no remorse. And you're going to hear somebody, and I'm paraphrasing, but, you, and this is him or her scolding an admin. You cannot have any feelings for the people that purchase our products or become members. Yeah. Screw them. We're just going to screw them and continue to screw them. And we don't care. So anyway, that's what we're going to talk about this Sunday at 7. So tune in Central Time. You can listen to the whistleblowers. This ain't my story. I'm going to share my story with you, show you what this clown tried to do to me. But, please continue to do it. Please. And I'll show you why, and I'll explain it to you. So thank you, everybody, man. Y'all have a safe and happy weekend. God bless you. Be careful. Don't get in no trouble. Come back Sunday. Hang out with us and hear what these people have to say. These victims. I keep putting the victims on. They keep telling the story, but, nobody wants to listen. Everybody thinks that, that the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, and they go over there and find out, oh, my God, this ain't grass, this is hay. It is what it is. So thank you, everybody. I really do appreciate y'all hanging around. This is what it is.